all can agree that Virginia's children deserve the security and stability of both of their parents. However, there are thousands of children in Virginia who are currently being denied that security, despite the fact they're being raised by two parents. How can that be? For the many lesbian and gay couples raising children together in Virginia, the status of legal parent only goes to one parent, to the parent who is biologically connected to the child, or to the parent who has legally adopted the child. The second parent is not permitted to adopt their child in our state. I ask you to support Senate Bill 336. It would make second parent adoption legal. This would allow intact two-parent households to provide the security for their children that other families simply take for granted. These families already are functioning just like other families in our Commonwealth. The difference is that one parent is not legally recognized. Why does this matter? Why does it protect children? First, it guarantees that a child can be covered by both parents' health insurance. Second, it guarantees that the child has access to both parents' Social Security benefits in the event of the death of one of the parents. Third, it guarantees that both parents can make key medical decisions regarding the health and well-being of their child. And it guarantees that both parents have a financial obligation to their children. It's important to note that this legislation would impact nobody other than the individual families who choose to invoke it. It's not asking anything from the state other than the courts be permitted to recognize that these children have two legal parents. I hope that you'll listen to the stories of some of the people who've come here today. They want you to understand that their family is just like your family and that their children are just like your children.
Good morning. My name is Emily McGowan. I am the Director of Public Policy for an organization called Family Equality Council. We're a national organization. We represent the 3 million lesbian and gay parents across this country and the 6 million children, the 6 million Americans across the country who have at least one lesbian or gay parent. Currently, there are at least 2,279 same-sex couples in the state of Virginia. Those couples are currently raising almost 4,500, more than 4,500 children. These are families who, as the Senator mentioned, are not afforded any protections under Virginia state law. These children are currently only legally recognized to be having one parent. All SB 336 does is allow these children to create a legal relationship with the second person who is already a functional parent in their lives. These children live with two parents, are being raised by two parents, recognize two parents in every aspect of their lives. And all this law does, all this bill would do, would be allowing these children to create those legal relationships with the courts. And as the Senator mentioned, it only requires, it is a voluntary stepping forward of these families, invoking this law to create those legal relationships. I want to highlight that this law, SB 336, would do nothing to impact Virginia's Conscience Clause law. There is no interaction with social service agencies. There is no impact on social service agencies and their ability to choose parents and who they want to deal with in the public. There is the only contact with the state would be through the judicial branch. There is no interaction with state social services. The standard still remains the same, however. I want to point out that the standard is still the best interest of the child. The courts and individual judges are still required to make the best interest of the child determinations, and those determinations are made on an individual case-by-case basis as families come before the court. You all are charged with an enormous responsibility for governing for all of Virginia's families. And this bill harms no one. It impacts no one. The only thing this bill would do would be to help children and to provide children in Virginia who are already being raised by same-sex couples with the same opportunities, security, and benefits that all other children in the state are afforded. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you briefly today. My name is Ashley Apple. I'm a registered nurse working here in Richmond Emergency Department. I have a beautiful wife. We've been together for about 7 years. In 2010, we were married in the District of Columbia with the love and support of our family and friends. In 2011, my wife gave birth to our first child, my son, Gavin. He's the absolute center of our attention and the center of our world. That's about to change just a little because I'm 9 months pregnant, and we'll be welcoming our second child any day now, hopefully not today, baby girl, Stella. Like most parents, our priorities and goals shifted the moment our first child entered this world. We immediately began planning how to give our children the best, most stable, and loving family possible. We started college funds, we renovated our home to suit our growing family, we passionately argued about public versus private education, we've read books on how to parent effectively and spent many sleepless nights nursing away fevers and bad dreams. We are just like any other family. We want the best for our children. We want our children to have every possible opportunity and to be protected and cared for in the same way that every child deserves. Unfortunately, we can't give them that in the state of Virginia. Because of where we live, our children are denied the right of having 2 legal parents to provide for them. They have 2 loving parents at home that would do anything in this world for them, but in the eyes of the state, one of those parents is a total stranger. It must be hard for a child to see that the government invalidates their family structure by denying basic adoptive rights to their parents. Being denied second parent adoption rights directly affects our ability to provide for our children. We would like our children to be eligible for insurance through either parent, an option that will become particularly important when I enter graduate school and adjust my work status. In the unfortunate event of my death, I want both of my children to inherit my Social Security benefits, which I have paid for in every paycheck since I began working at the age of 14. Isn't it every parent's ultimate goal to make sure that their children are taken care of in events of such a tragedy? In the event of our death, our children's rights to their inheritance are dependent on whether or not we have the resources to hire an estate attorney. Their inheritance should be protected like any other child in the state of Virginia. There are many children and families who lack the resources to consult with estate attorneys, so I stand here today for them as well. Children benefit from having 2 loving parents at home. They benefit from having 2 adults that are willing to be legally, financially, and emotionally responsible for them, regardless of the gender of those 2 adults. Children benefit from feeling that their family is valid. All the children of Virginia deserve to be treated fairly under the law and to be granted equal access to resources, regardless of the gender or sexual orientation of their parents. I ask you today to do what is best for the children of Virginia, and specifically what is best for my children. Please consider moving forward to legalize second parent adoption in this state. Please consider my family. Thank you.
Love is what makes a family. Many of you yourselves are probably parents, and you know that there's no greater love than what you feel for your child that has flu, that's just thrown up all over you, that screams for the next hour, and then falls peacefully asleep. Love allows you to soothe that child, clean up that house, fall restlessly asleep, and wake up and do it all over again the next day. My name is Marty Tomlin. I'm here with my partner, Farah. And we're here today with the 2 sweetest, red-headed, blue-eyed baby boys I know. Knox and Logan were born on May 12, 2012, May 17, 2012. And according to the state of Virginia, I'm their parent, but Farah is not. I'm going to be real honest with all of you. I did not hear about this bill for myself. I do not need a law to define who my family is. My family has been beautifully created and my family is complete. But part of being a parent is protecting your children and teaching them right from wrong. This bill would protect my children and afford them so many rights that other families take for granted. All I've asked in the last year and a half of Knox and Logan's lives is that they learn a few simple things. Sleep through the night, walk, and eat with a fork. We're still working on eating with a fork. But they have not been asked to absorb the pain of discrimination or answer questions about being different, and I hope that by being here today, they never have to feel that pain or ask those questions. When Farah and I got married, my dad mentioned what a good team we made. And that's true, we make a great team. But our team is so many more people than just the 2 of us. It's our immediate and extended family. It's the people that struggle with us. It's the people that provide a network that is strong, secure, and supportive. It's comprised of conservatives and liberals, a lot more conservatives than liberals. It's comprised of city people and country folk. It's NRA members and gun control activists. It's pro-lifers and pro-choicers. But in this network of love that surrounds Knox and Logan, there has never been a question as to if Farrah is these boys' mother or if she deserves the same rights as any other parent. Because to all of the people in this network, the answer to that question is always yes. Farrah is these boys' parents. Farrah does the grocery shopping. Farrah cleans the house. Farrah changes poopy diapers. Farrah snuggles sleepy babies. Farrah puts these children above herself. Farrah did not deserve to not be rewarded FMLA when her children were born. She does not deserve to not be listed on their birth certificate. She should not have had to pay thousands of dollars to be able to take her children to the doctor and not be questioned. She shouldn't have to worry that should one day something happen to me, someone could take her children from her. Or one day if something happened to her, someone could take her pension from her children. One day, our boys might be highly embarrassed and highly mad that their mother made them take this picture in these sailor suit outfits. But there will never come a day that these boys are anything other than proud of their mother for standing up for them, standing up for their family, and standing up for all families. And I don't say families like ours, because if your family loves each other deeply, supports each other unconditionally, then you have a family like ours. If you are raising your children while both parents work, you come home at night and relish those few hours of family time to eat dinner together, go on walks. If you lay down at night and say a prayer of thanksgiving for all the blessings that you have in your life, and wake up in the morning in a home that is full of love, then you have a family like ours. If you live your life so that when your children think of fairness, integrity, love, and support, then they think of their family, then you will pass this bill because you are raising your family just like ours. Love has made our family complete. But your support of SB 336 will protect our family and allow Farrah to legally be the mother that Knox and Logan will always know her to be. Thank you.
Good morning. On May 17, 2012, it was the happiest day of my life. I became a parent of twin boys. I am biologically related to Knox and Logan. Genetically, the boys are mine. However, the Commonwealth of Virginia does not consider me a parent. I am a teacher in Chesterfield County, where I've taught for 14 years. In the past, I've stayed in the closet and hidden my family, but I can no longer do that. Currently, I'm standing up here right now and probably could lose my job. I witnessed firsthand how parent involvement in education determines the success of a student. Currently in Virginia, my students that are parents have more rights than I do. I cannot legally talk to teachers, attend conferences, or even get an account online to monitor their grades as the law stands. At 28 weeks, Marty was admitted into the hospital for 6 weeks because Knox and Logan were struggling medically. Every day for 6 weeks, I went to work, I taught, and then I went to the hospital where most nights I slept. And this repeated for 6 weeks. I was not allowed to take off. Instead, I had to go to work and suck it up and teach the youth. I was in emotional distress because Knox and Logan's health was uncertain, but yet I still went to work. I could not take FMLA or the 12 days that I accrued by teaching in consecutive order because Knox and Logan are not considered mine. I am not considered a parent in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Chesterfield County granted me 5 consecutive days. That is it. I took 5 days off. Currently, I cannot legally use my sick days when the boys are sick. I am fully invested with the Virginia retirement system, and if something were to happen to me, Knox and Logan would not get a penny because the Commonwealth does not think of me as a parent. That doesn't even factor in life insurance. On another aspect, my mother was diagnosed with dementia 6 years ago. Currently, every single day, I make lifetime decisions for my mother because she cannot make them on her own. What if this is me when I'm 60? Knox and Logan, currently as the law stands, will not be able to make decisions for me. Decisions from finances to health care. In fact, when Knox and Logan were 3 months old, Marty had to go out of town. She accidentally took the insurance cards with her, and Logan ended up getting very sick. I took him to a pediatrician who ordered an x-ray. The x-rays were done at St. Mary's. It was a Friday night, no one was there, and it took 2 hours to be admitted because I had to prove that I was a parent. Imagine trying to explain why you have a screaming infant in your arms that you just want care for. Finally, I offered my credit card and demanded an x-ray. What if it had been seconds that mattered, or minutes? Fortunately, he was fine, and nothing serious happened. It's not right that if something were to happen to Marty, that I would not get awarded custody. I am Knox and Logan's mother. Like Marty said, I do not need a law or a bill to prove that. However, don't punish Knox and Logan for living in the state of Virginia. Thank you.
My partner Mary and I will be celebrating our 10th anniversary in 2014. We have 2 daughters, ages 6.5 and 2.5, both prematurely. We put 10 months of consideration into planning to start a family. However, without much consideration, it's unfortunate that we are not awarded many of the same privileges that families with much less consideration towards parenting possess simply due to their sexual orientation. My partner and I experience all the same setbacks as any new set of parents: pregnancy difficulties, financial strain, parenting and shifts due to our opposite work schedules, and an array of typical new parent difficulties. We also experience all the positive emotions that we gain from becoming parents: unconditional love for our children, protectiveness, feeling proud of their first steps, first words, and first day of school. We have a daily routine consisting of tasks such as packing lunches and book bags, brushing teeth, bath time, story time, etc. My point is that our family dynamic is exactly the same as yours. Mary is a detective for the city of Richmond, obviously a dangerous job. Our oldest daughter has medical issues for which she is seen weekly at the Children's Hospital. Our youngest daughter was born in 2011 with medical issues that she later outgrew. However, at the time, she needed constant care from various specialists. My insurance was of lesser quality and more expensive than my partner's. Our children were suffering the medical consequences, and we were suffering the financial consequences of Mary not having equal rights to insure our children. Therefore, we petitioned the court of Chesterfield County for joint custody. We were awarded joint custody and physical custody of our children due to the medical issues that they were experiencing. Being awarded joint custody solved our short-term goal of utilizing Mary's insurance. However, she is classified as a custodian, which comes along with restrictions that being classified as a parent is not. Due to Mary entering dangerous situations on a daily basis, we are acutely aware that there is a risk of her being killed in the line of duty. I am an LCSW who works in a crisis environment in Richmond that houses chronically mentally ill. Therefore, due to the nature of our professions, planning for the worst is a reality that we need to consider when attempting to protect our children. Second parent adoption would benefit our kids financially and emotionally. Financially, without second parent adoption, if Mary were to die, our children would not be eligible for Social Security and death benefits due to her solely being classified as a custodian. It also emotionally would behoove our children because without second parent adoption, if I passed away, the custody of my children could easily be amended in court if any of my biological family members were to pursue petitioning for custody. A biological family member could convince the court of his or her right to parent my children and remarry as a non-biological parent who is simply considered a joint custodian. Therefore, there is currently no protection for my children to stay with their other mother in the event of my death. My children would have to suffer the loss of one parent just to then lose the other at the mercy of the court due to Mary's inability to adopt them. My children deserve more stability than that. Every parent wants security for their children. Many parents plan for their children's college funds, weddings, savings accounts, and plan their own wills and estates simply to ensure that their children are well taken care of should something unexpected occur. I'm simply asking for the security of knowing that my children cannot be taken from their other mother. I am also asking that Mary is able to have equal financial responsibility for her children until they are adults, as well as the ability for her to contribute financially to our children through her benefits if she were to pass away. I am asking for the basic human rights that other families are so privileged to have and may not even appreciate. I am asking those of you who are still undecided on this issue to consider what you want for your own children and to give that to mine. I am asking you to allow us to use the word parent instead of custodian.
My name is Robert Borsline. I'm president of the People of Faith for Equality in Virginia. We are an interfaith organization, and I just wanted to say, you've heard these powerful stories. There isn't a faith tradition in this Commonwealth that does not place the well-being of its children, all God's children, without regard to what kind of family or wherever they may be, does not put the well-being of those children first. I ask you to support and help care for all God's children in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Claire Guthrie, on behalf of the ACLU of Virginia, we encourage you to ask yourselves this question. Having heard the testimony that you've heard, is there a compelling governmental interest, much less even a rational basis, for denying children a second loving adult who wants to take care of them, charge of them, provide security and financial protection? Our answer would be no, and we would encourage you to bring you along Virginian compliance with what we think is the constitutional requirement of equal treatment.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Jeff Russo with the Virginia Catholic Conference. We certainly appreciate Senator Howell's concern for children. However, we don't think this particular bill is the way to go about it, and we do have deep concerns about it. I guess just two main points. First, I think subsection A really that first sentence there really says a lot. It says a person other than the parent of a child. And please note how broad that is. It could be any person, regardless of what the relationship is or is not. And then the second provision that I wanted to bring to your attention is in subsection C, where it says that the court may waive appointment of a guardian in light of the child. We think that gives extremely broad discretion, and normally having a guardian ad litem is the right way to go to protect children. So we would just ask you to take a careful look at that too. So, but I think the main concern is just the extreme threat of this legislation. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Chris Wren from the Family Foundation Opposition. I've talked a little bit about the broadness of this. This is a sea change in policy in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So this point, adoption has been reserved to married couples and to single adults, and there's reasons for that. And one of the things I want to talk about here is heterosexual cohabitation, which this would open the door for adoption and heterosexual cohabitation, which is notoriously unstable. Heterosexual cohabitation, according to National Center for Health Statistics, breakup rates far exceeding married couples. The median duration of cohabitation is 22 months, and 27% of those relationships break up within 3 years. Even marriages that follow heterosexual cohabitation are more likely to end in divorce, according to the University of Virginia. So this is a very serious change to public policy in Virginia. It's not just same-sex adoption. It really does completely change our public policy as far as what is in the best interest of the children. It deserves a very, very serious look to see if we want to go down this road, and we don't believe that this is the right way to do it, so we would ask you to oppose it. Thank you.
Well, you've heard, I think, the stories as to why this is such an important piece of legislation. I must say, as someone who's been married 48 years, I'm amused by the concept that same-sex that relationships break up easily. Most marriages don't make it anywhere near 48 years. But I do hope you will do this. This is focused on protecting the kids. It's about the kids, some of whose parents are actually married. And I think it's past time for Virginia to really focus on the kids and do what's right for them.
Senator Paul.
I move that we report out bill number 336.
It's been moved and seconded that Senate Bill 336 be reported. Discussion on the bill. Senator Hammond.
Mr. Chairman, I would offer a substitute motion that the bill be carried over and perhaps a letter from the committee to the Department of Social Services appropriate entities, we can get, I guess, some impact of where we're at with this and how the best policy, whether this needs to be tweaked there. And let me just take a share, Mr. Chairman, the cases that we've heard here this morning involving children, these obviously couples that are loving their children in situations they're in, pulls at your heartstrings. I understand that. At this moment, I have concerns about the bill as drafted, and so that would be my substitute motion.
Moved and seconded that the bill be carried over. Senator Howell, let me just say this. I'm very sympathetic to the witnesses here. The bill is broad, overly broad, I think. I wish it was a way we could come back and define, capture what it is without addressing some of the concerns we heard because of the broadness of the bill, the lack of, you're opening up to what may not be a stable relationship. We clearly refer to stable relationships here. And I don't know how we go about defining that, but I want to reach out and help. But at the same time, I don't want to create an open door that with some unintended consequences that we don't look at. So,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Senator.
if I might, I would resist that motion. I would suggest that it not pass. No one came to me to have any objection with this until right now. If it needs to be, have some amendments, we've got time in the process to do that. But these families have very real needs, and they have them this year, and social services isn't really going to be able to add anything that we don't already know.
All right, well, committee operates by motion. We have a substitute motion properly seconded that the bill be carried over. Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Fuller.
No.
Senator Hanger.
Aye.
Senator Lott.
No.
Senator McDougal.
Aye, by proxy.
Senator Barker.
No.
Senator Black.
Aye, by proxy.
Senator Reeves.
Aye.
Senator Bovola.
No.
Senator Stosh.
Aye, by proxy.
Senator Miller.
No.
Senator Alexander.
No.
Senator Wagner.
Aye. I've got five on my ear. This got as tough as what I had to make.
6-6.
6-6. Okay. We're back to the primary motion. We can call and roll or pretty much understand what the destination is going to be. But I guess to get to the point we need to do, the primary motion rules the bill reported. Clerk, call the roll.
Senator Fuller.
Aye.
Senator Hanger.
Aye. Oh, no. No, I'm sorry.
Senator Lott.
Aye.
Senator McDougal.
No.
Senator Barker.
Aye.
Senator Black.
No, by proxy.
Senator Reeves.
No.
Senator Bovola.
Aye.
Senator Stosh.
No, by proxy.
Senator Miller.
Aye.
Senator Alexander. Senator Wagner.
I'm here now. No. Doesn't know. Okay.
6-6.
6-6. So the bill remains in the committee unreported, Senator Howell, and gives it still on the balance of the committee as Senator Garrett. Senator Fuller.
Will it be on our docket again? Because I think it would be helped by some amendments, or it could be helped by some amendments.
Mr. Chairman, I'd be very happy to work on that.
And I think you heard my comment, Senator Howell, that I'd be curious to see the amendments. It is still in the committee, my understanding. It is neither a PBI nor reported, so therefore yes to the committee, as does Senator Garrett does at this point.